I think the UFC should change the rules, and the match is over when the other guy in the ass. And he goes, why? And I go, and I'm already like, this is going horribly. And he goes, and I go, well, I don't know. How hard would you fight if your asshole was on the line? I think the fights would be better. And he goes, yeah, that's a great joke. And I was like, but you're not laughing. Yeah. It's like when you said why in the middle. Okay, let's do this. Special goes viral from this interview.
Yeah.
From this interview goes viral. And you are tomorrow. The list goes Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, John Mulaney, Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
What 5 celebrity friends do you want? Just men. Just men.
Just men?
Just men. You get a text. You get a text. Hey, it's Mel Gibson. I watched
Mel Gibson.
That's one of mine. That's one of mine.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I would love to meet Mel Gibson.
Did you see him salute Trump at the UFC?
No.
There was a UFC event where Trump showed up, and in the crowd, you see Mel Gibson.
Fucking
people were mad at him.
It's
like, dude,
he's consistently
he's wild.
He's brand friendly. He is the thing he says he is. I just want to get fucking. See, my thing is, I want to get wasted with
Mel
one
Gibson.
of these people.
Yeah, Mel Gibson's a good choice.
Ben Affleck. That's one of mine.
Who?
Ben Affleck.
What?
I want Ben Affleck to be my friend. Yeah. I would pick him over Matt Damon, I think. Although Matt Damon would be a cool text. Brad Pitt would be a cool text.
Brad Pitt's cool.
Would be that Brad Pitt's like a real one.
Yeah.
Like
Leonardo DiCaprio is cool. You don't like Leo?
I do. You like
Matt Damon more than Leonardo?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Leo's like Daniel Tosh. When Daniel Tosh comes into your house, he does this thing where he's like,
That's pretty funny.
You ready to go? And you're like, is something wrong? And he's like, no, it's just your house smells like food. And you're like,
yeah, there's food here.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, let's go. He's very much like American Psycho.
Really?
Like he's just a very neat, tidy, keep your shit together. He's like a very smart.
And you think Leonardo DiCaprio is that
I've been
way?
to Leonardo's house. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I think mine would be, I think number 1 would be Nate Diaz.
Oh, I didn't think about fighters.
Nate Diaz,
I
think, has to be the funniest dude ever to be around.
Nate Diaz, you know, by the way, Tony Hinchcliffe got that text.
I know. I listened to that interview. Nate did Hinchcliffe's podcast a while ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was great. He just talked about going on The Ultimate Fighter.
Okay. Fighter.
Nate Diaz and dude, I've seen watch Nate Diaz's Instagram story and it's the funniest.
I think he blocked me. Because I followed him and then all of a sudden I couldn't find him on my thing. Nate
Trump also.
Fucking. By the way,
let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Trump.
If I got a Trump text that was incredible, I loved it. It'd be so funny.
He didn't block me. I just followed him. He's got 5.1 million followers. I wonder if he follows me. Nope. Casey Neistat, Joe Rogan, Snoop Dogg, Big Boy, Bam Bam Baklava, Bob Menery. Dude,
that's a good one. Action Bronson
would be a good text.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Action Bronson would be a good text. He is, man, I got to be honest with you. He is really fucking inspiring me right now.
Really?
He's in great shape. He can swing a baseball bat. Like I can swing a baseball bat.
Yeah.
I have one of the prettiest swings out of all. I'm probably athletically the most competent comic that we have.
Yeah.
My daughter said there's no such thing as a funny Holocaust joke. And I was like, hey, you can't do that. I actually got into a fight with him about it. And I was like, you can't do that. And they were like, Dad, it's not funny. And I was like, no, everything's funny. Like you can find a way to make everything funny. Yeah. Rosebud Baker's got a great miscarriage joke. We used your Special Olympics joke. We told it again. It was my favorite thing. We woke up on the tour bus. I think Andrew, my cousin, was like, we were talking about words you can't say and ways to get away around it. And Andrew just goes, oh my God, have you seen Shane Gillis's Special Olympics joke? And I was like, no. He was like, it's fucking awesome. And I was like, shut up. What is it? And he goes, I'll tell it to you. And he kind of started telling me, he goes, let's just find it. And then we found it. And I think you had just put it out.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God. And it's like my favorite thing to do, but it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard to be able to write jokes so people can tell them back to other people.
Definitely. It's also hard to work on that, that type of joke. That That takes a lot of like bad sets.
You feel like you're doing Rogan again.
Yeah. Huh? I thought it was funny.
You really thought that?
Yeah. What?
You really thought that?
What?
That was one of my favorite. That's like when Joe doesn't get a joke is almost better than it's actually better than when he gets a joke.
Yeah.
Like because I've told him so many jokes and he goes, "Why would you think that?" Like I'm just telling you.
It's like, well, I don't think that. It's funny to say you think that.
Yeah. But yeah,
there was another one.
I don't feel that way.
There's another one in that Rogan thing that nobody caught, or maybe they took it out. I didn't watch it, but there was one where I was like, we were talking about the Night Stalker. Did you watch that on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
There was a part where the Night Stalker like broke into there was two old sisters.
Yeah. That
were like 88 years old, and the Night Stalker broke in like the mid afternoon and killed them with a hammer. And I was like, isn't that? It's funny. And he was like, he was like, there's nothing funny about that. I was like, well, that's kind of why it's funny. There's literally zero funny.
It's the best because Joe does have a great sense of humor,
of course.
But he is on such a different wavelength at times where he is. I think sometimes he's distracted or he's thinking about a million things even while you're talking to him sometimes. And but those are my favorite. Those are easily my favorite. Yeah. Is that when you said, and I just figured I'll just go on Rogan, and he was like, "Why would you think that?" Oh, that's so great. That's, by the way, that's Joe. That's Joe. That's so Joe. Yeah. I remember saying one time, I was like, I was this is an early appearance, and I was like, I don't know. I have a joke about the UFC. I don't think you like it. You'd like it, and he goes, "Why wouldn't I like it?" And I go, "I just didn't. I wouldn't think you'd like it." And he goes, "Tell it to me." And so I go, I think the UFC should change the rules, and the match is over when the other guy fucks the other guy in the ass. And he goes, "Why?" And I go, and I'm already like, this is going horribly. And he goes, and I go, "Well, I don't know. How hard would you fight if your asshole was on the line? I think the fights would be better." And he goes, "Yeah, that's a great joke." And I was like, "But you're not laughing."
Yeah.
It's like when you said "why" in the middle, I was already
why.
Yeah, I go, and he goes, "It's a good joke. I like that joke. Why wouldn't I like that joke?" And I go, and then in my head, I'm like, "It's not done. I still have more to it, but I'm not telling you."
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.